What up, guys? Welcome back to the second part of lighting ratios. I hope you enjoyed the first one. If you haven't seen it, you can go back and look at our playlist for part one of this episode, but we're talking about lighting ratios. You'll see my daughter coming in and out where it's early morning. We're trying to get this done. We have a whole lot of stuff going on this week, and I wanted to get this episode out for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. Again, like last time, I'm going to share a little story with you about how using a light meter and lighting ratios really affected the way I was thinking when it came to approaching my lighting. One of the coolest adventures that I've ever had was when I was able to go to Bangladesh and work as a gaffer on a feature film for one of my good buddies. For 2 months, I am headed to Bangladesh. With independent filmmaking, one of the challenges was that we had to always tear down our lighting and reset it up the next day. We couldn't just leave lights in a studio set and be able to switch them back on and film the scene again. We also didn't have enough equipment to just let lighting be set and come back to it. So we were always resetting lighting and setting up lighting. Good God, how fat that foot is. Jeez.
Big muscle and big man.
Yeah! The challenge of not having enough lights or being able to just leave lighting in a certain space and walk away and come back makes you test yourself and to document, write things down and reference so that if you have to go back to a certain shot or go back to a certain part of that scene, that the lighting has a similar look to it. Having a light meter really started to push me to understand the importance of using it and understanding it. For the most part, what I've found is that I'm lighting my shadows between a 0.7 and a 1. I don't try to go over that because you don't really want to see too much in your shadows. I'll even go lower at times, depending on like what my key light is, which is this. But the light meter, in my opinion, if you're interested in lighting, is the first thing you should get and learn how to use properly. And it will help you dramatically in your lighting skills. So I remember I carried around a green book and I would document the things that I would do so I could remember what I was doing and the things that I was learning. I would write down my key light, I'd write down my fill, I'd write down my backlight, I would spot meter and I would write down what the windows were looking like. This was something that I really started to practice so heavily that it just was burnt into my brain and I was able to carry over when I went back to the States. Dancing by the bathroom, dancing by the bathroom, dancing by the bathroom. It smells, so we dance. It smells, so we dance. We dance in the bathroom, dance in the bathroom. Unfortunately, with everything, if you don't practice the things that you're learning, you can't retain that information, or you just forget to do it, or you forget like how important it was for you to learn that lesson. That was in 2018, and then since then, I've been on and off with using my light meter at times and not using it. And I could say anytime I've ever used my light meter, I'm more accurate and I'm more understanding of what I'm doing within the scene. There are times where I set up my lighting and I'm wondering what the heck is going on, and I'm getting frustrated because I can't get the look that I want, and a lot of times I'm just looking for shadows. And I'm realizing, okay, well, either my key light is not intense enough to push a harder key so I could drop my aperture down a little bit and create some shadows, or I need to remove some of my fill light somehow, whether it's blocking windows or setting up negative fill. Fuck. It is fucking so cold on this boat. Now let's take a look at some example lighting really quick of what it's like to get a 1-to-1, a 2-to-1, a 4-to-1, and an 8-to-1. You see my setup here? This is where I come every single day. That I have this these NAND lights that I use, these tubes that I then wrap just one of the softbox sheets that I have in my NAND light kit. On my big 5-foot softbox comes with 2 different grids, a big thick diffusion, and it also comes with like a quarter grid. So I'm using the quarter grid right now just so I can get a little bit more output but then soften it. Those tubes are already pretty soft. But I soften it some more just so it's a little bit more flattering. Right here I have another NAND light that I have this like photography umbrella that I started to use recently to kind of just bounce into and soften the light and then let it come back onto me. So what you're gonna be seeing here is me adjusting all these things. Right here is just like a circle black on a C-stand, and then also have on top, what you can't really see, is it's an aperture 60, an LS6, and then a softbox on that with a grid to kind of control it and hit me for my fill. So my first goal is to get a 1-to-1 ratio, which means the key light and the fill light will be even. That will require me to turn on a light, and it'll also require me to kind of do a little shifting. That's right at 281, so we'll call that happy. And then on top is a 282. So we're good here, we're kind of balanced here, we're kind of even here. And let's try to work on our fill light here because we're pretty low. We're at a 0.7. Let's try to get this to a 1-to-1. Right now, it's probably gonna be way over the one I need it to be at 29%. I'm not even, you could already kind of tell by looking at the monitor here that it's pretty hot. So it's at 3.4. So let's come down. It's not too bad. We got to come down just a little bit. So I just halved it. This is at a 2.8. Technically, I'm at a 1-to-1 right now. It's even. You still see some shadows on my face and stuff because I have a hat on. And I think the quality of light and maybe the color temperature could be different. I don't have my color temperature meter on me. This one feels different than this, and it feels a little sharper. You know, it's pretty small. You know, a lighting fixture, and the angles get way different, you know, so because of those two things, the lighting looks pretty crazy. I try to just get it to about to be the same angle and the same height as this other one. It feels more intense over here to me, just on my face. Yeah, it's a 3.4. So we're gonna come back down. The color looks better. I'm gonna go to 10%. Kind of pointing this is a 281. Now it's the color difference to me. I don't have my color meter. I'm so mad. I think it needs to be cooled off a little bit more. Looks a little warmer. That feels a bit better color wise. I went down 200. I went up 200 points, so it's at 3200 Kelvin. This NAND light says it's 2700, so I think that the NAND light might just be wrong in its color temperature. If I had my color meter, I'm so mad, I'll make another episode about that. If I had my color meter, I'll show you. I could have balanced it easily and it would look more in tuned. So, but you see here, this is a 1-to-1. So here, 1-to-1, let me take a picture for the tube. Let's try to go the next stage, which is a 2-to-1. So I'm just gonna half this light, 5, and see if that helps. So I need to get down to a 2. So I got a 2.8 here, I need to get down to a 2 here. That's a 2.04. Almost there. If I just pull this back, we're at 5% there. I'm gonna go to 2%. This is a 2.0 exactly. So we're now set at 2-to-1. This is 2-to-1. I'm doing that because I'm gonna take a screenshot and put it in my PDF. I want to give you guys a PDF that I developed for this episode of ratios so that you could walk away and always come back and read it and get the cliff notes of everything, so you don't have to watch the video, but you always have something that you could just go to and reference. This PDF I took the time to make it concise so that you guys can read it and understand it and practice it. And I have a little bit of homework at the end. If you want to have access to this free PDF, but all you need to do is comment, send me the PDF, tag your Instagram handle on there as well, and I'll go ahead and send you your PDF on Instagram personally. Okay, so we got our 2-to-1 here. Not a huge fan. There's no contrast for me. I don't really like it, and I think as I pulled this intensity down over here, it looks like it warmed up this side of my face more, even though it dropped in exposure. I think maybe the fixture could get warmer. I don't know. Again, I don't have my color meter. This is why you need a color meter too. Okay, let's go to a 4-to-1. So I'm just pulling this away to reduce intensity. If I had an app set up for this, then I could easily do this, but I don't have the app set up for this. So you know what? I'm not doing my job. Blame me. Blame me, not the equipment. We're at a 1-4. Perfect. So this is a 4-1. So this is a 4-1. This is a tad bit fill. I like that there's more shadows here. I'm starting to think that, because I never usually have any type of fill, and I like the way that my videos look without any fill at all. I don't even add anything. And I think it's because it might be 8-1. I might be an 8-1 type of person. Hey, we're discovering things together, you know what I'm saying? This is why we make this stuff, so we can reference it. This is why we're making it, so we can reference it. Just send some light back. And how I'm gonna do that is just with a little bounce. Again, this is just reflecting light back. How powerful is that? It's at a 101. That is a 6-1. 6-1. I like 6-1. I think 6-1 is really nice. You know, so I want to show you something here that I think is kind of interesting. So I'm only going one, now I'm at a f4 here, and I didn't change anything about the camera. I just went to, you know, I kept it at 2.8 on both cameras. You know, this is something I've never tried. What I'm doing right now, which is interesting, is I'm just pushing my key light one stop over. Instead of balancing the camera to the key light, I'm letting it be over by the stop. It looks flattering. I mean, it looks nice on my skin. I think maybe I like this more I'm discovering something here in the moment, you know. Maybe lighting my skin over a stop is something that I want to do. What do you think, Ellie? My princess just woke up. I've been getting up early and doing these before she wakes up. Last few days was like doing them at like 4 in the morning. Or I was trying to get up at 4:30, and man, it was rough. Getting up at 4:30 to pray and eat and drink and clean and stuff like that, and then getting started around like 5:15 on these. Man, it was killing me. By the afternoon, 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, I need a nap. So I'm not used to that schedule just yet. I'm used to the reverse schedule where I go to bed late. But because I'm a dad now, I have to learn I'm reversing the schedule now. Get up earlier so I can get some work done, take care of her for a little bit, and then when she's off to grandma's or when she's off to her school, then I could get back to work. But man, it's a balance. Now, what I will show you, what it's like, since we're talking about it, what it's like to balance my camera to an f4. So I'll set both cameras to f4 and kind of see what everything ends up doing.
Is it a grandma day?
It is a grandma day. I'm excited for a grandma day. So, oh shoot. It is very dark. On the wide camera, it doesn't look so bad. On the camera here, on this camera I'm looking here, it looks, I wouldn't be happy with this image. So it's probably because my background went down quite a bit. I don't feel like my key light is strong enough, in my opinion. Looks underexposed to me. This camera over here looks pretty decent because you're just seeing like all the other lights around, you know, and you have this big white here, so it doesn't look too bad. The space looks cool, more dramatic. The walls like came down quite a bit. We'll see what it looks like in post, but on camera and the monitor, it looks pretty underexposed. I'll bring up my intensity in color and see what it's like to do that. But you see how freaking dark this feels. But I haven't done anything, it's still set out of 1, you know. But you can see how rich that shadow is now. Okay, so yeah, that was that's an 8-1. We are 4 stops difference. We got an f4 to 2.8, that's 1, to 2, that's 2, to 1.4, that's 3, to 1, that is 4. So times 2, that is an 8-1 ratio. Honestly, my opinion, 8-1 looks great if you push this 1 stop over on our key. I think it looks really cool. Looks sick. Practicing the habit of understanding how to measure the light, no matter what light mirror you use, will be good practice for you to understanding lighting ratios and making your image overall achieve the contrast you love and achieve the mood that you want. There are plenty of really great apps on the phone now. My brother, James Rico, constantly uses his phone app and he loves the results he gets just by measuring light through the phone. I will always stand by using this. I think it's really great. The problem is, make sure you hold on to it. It is very easy to set aside and lose. Luckily, my name is on this one, and it has my Real Goats, kind of logo stuff on it. So if I ever set it down on set, people know whose it is. It's very easy to set this thing down. You're like, okay, let's go. And then you measure and you set it down. So very easy to lose a light meter. I'm pretty sure I've lost 4 in my lifetime, which is not bad. 4 is not bad, but I've definitely lost them. And it's frustrating me because then I'll say, oh, I don't need it anymore. And I'll get out of the habit of using it. And I forget that it's more about being accurate. It's more about being precise. It's more about helping you explain to your gaffer, your lighting crew, and the people around you what you're trying to achieve. If you say you want to get a 4:1 ratio or an 8:1 ratio, and they're lighting it and it doesn't look quite what you want, it's easy to go ahead and measure, calculate, and say, guys, we actually need a little bit more light coming in on my key light because we're sitting, roughly under that by a stop or two. And that's easier to say and prove when you're using something that's telling you actually what's happening versus like you using your eye and you're saying, I don't think it's right. And then another person saying, no, it is. Like, it's easier for you to prove what you want isn't happening or prove what you want is happening by taking the calculations. And that's the thing that I really love about light meters. Thanks again for watching this episode of Lighting Ratios. Next time, I really want to bring you guys some more information about how to balance backgrounds and your backlight using a light meter and seeing examples of what that looks like as well. So again, if you guys want the free PDF, go ahead and just comment below. Send me the PDF in the comments and make sure you tag your Instagram handle and I will send it to you directly in a Dropbox. For those that have already done it, thank you so much. And I'll be getting those to you shortly. Okay, she's gotta go pee, so I gotta wrap this up. Until next time, guys, I have a lot going on this week. I'm headed out to LA to shoot a music video, and so I'll get you guys some BTS of that, show you how I'm using lighting ratios in that scenario, how I'm succeeding with it, and how I'm failing with it. Because you know what? A lot of times we fail more than we succeed, but that's how we learn. So get out there, practice your lighting ratios. Until next time, you can follow us on our social media and Instagram, where we keep the most updates about when these episodes come out and what's to come. So check us out over there on Instagram if you're not already doing it. Thank you so much. If you're not subscribing to the YouTube, please do. Smash that subscribe button, smash the like button. Smash, 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 smash. And then, comment below if you want the free PDF about this lesson. Just say, send me the PDF. My daughter's about to pee her pants, so I gotta run. All right, peace.